Reading I-Ching. Small preponderance. Change of lines. The first line is yin. The line of yin located at the bottommost position indicates that the foundation is not fully consolidated yet. When you try to rush too hastily without a solid base, you may get exhausted easily before you go far enough. You need to check and understand the extent of your own ability, and the current status of your environment before you carry out a plan. If you think that it is not an appropriate moment to start a new task, you had better wait a little longer with patience. The second line is yin again. The second of the consecutive lines of yin seems to indicate that we are building up the foundation toward the top. This line of yin corresponds to the other yin located at the center of the upper trigram. The two yins facing each other are reaching out their hands trying to connect to each other. However, you cannot simply skip the middle lines of yang to connect with the high level directly. In order to reach the top, you need to be faithful to your current position, and work your way up one step after another. The third line is yang. As usual, the last position of the lower trigram of mountain symbolizes excessiveness. The mountain is trying to rise upward, but it does not go up endlessly. You will eventually meet the peak when you climb a mountain. Even if you try to run further than the top, you only end up getting back down from the summit. Similarly, it may be the time for you to reconsider whether what you have been routinely doing is still valid. If you have already passed the peak of the mountain, you probably need to stop repeating your past actions thoughtlessly. In order to connect with a new world that is based on a different background from what you have been, you need to break out of your old habits and jump up higher. The fourth line continues to be a line of yang. Now we go one step closer to the trigram of thunder. This line is at the first contact point of the mountain and the lightning. Considering that the overall composition of small preponderance is shaped around the central lines of yang, which symbolizes the ideal that we have in our minds, and that the surrounding lines of yin are embracing and connecting the foundation below and the structure above, this line may be considered as the central point of the connections. However, considering that the peak of the mountain and the root of the lightning will meet at a sharp point, the balance of this connection may be quite fragile at this point. You need to be alert and watch for changes in the situation constantly, and watch your own behaviors at all times. The fifth line goes back to yin again. Just as the central line of the lower trigram is reaching up higher, this central line of the upper trigram is reaching out its hands downward. As was mentioned in the second line, however, it cannot easily jump over the two lines of yang in the middle and reach the bottom. You may think that it is quite doable before you actually try it, but your goal may be just a little bit farther than you think in reality. You need an objective opinion about your current position and capability. The last line is yin. The line of yin, which is at the farthest position from the center, implies that you may have too high an ideal. Maybe that is why you feel that the connection is burdensome. There are too many steps to overcome. Trying to understand other people from different background, making them understand you in return, and reaching out to each other. However, once you give up trying to connect to other people, you may not have another chance to create a bond with them. You need to reconsider whether your decision is based on a good judgment, before you make an irreversible choice.